Battle Through the Heavens. Chapter 145. Xiao crushes Ganmu with the heavy Xuan ruler. The mountain's biting chill lingers on his robes, an echo of the steel drawn in suspicion. Beneath a facade of mediocrity, a dormant power gathers its heat, weary of the petty arrogance that dares to bar the fated path. A single motion shatters the stillness, grounding a tyrant's pride into the dirt, where a hidden truth finally awakens.
One moment, he was arrogant and overbearing. The next, he was pinned under a boot. This sudden shift left Ka Gang and his men staring with their mouths open. Even Ganmu's own subordinates stood frozen in shock. On the wide road, travelers stopped in their tracks. They stared at Ganmu, a man usually feared, now lying in the dirt beneath a teenager's foot. The once noisy street went dead silent. A few moments later, Ka Gang finally snapped out of his daze. He stared hard at the youth standing over Ganmu. Was this really just a 2-star douche? Based on that burst of speed and power, this boy was likely as strong as a 9-star douche.
We were all blind,
Ka Gang muttered with a sigh. It was clear now that the boy had been hiding his true strength all along. Linger hid behind her father, her heart hammering against her ribs. She stared at Ganmu. This was a man her father could not defeat, yet he was helpless on the ground. A wave of realization hit her. She had spent the whole day mocking this young man. Looking at him now, she felt like a fool.
It made sense why he had ignored her insults. To him, she was probably just a clown. She looked up at him. Under the morning sun, the youth looked lean and calm. He had a faint smile on his face, looking more like he was chatting with a friend than beating a man into the ground.
Linger glanced at the man in white, Mulan, and felt her admiration for him wither away. Ganmu coughed violently, spraying blood onto the dirt. He shook off his daze and glared up at Xiao with bloodshot eyes.
You little brat, do you have any idea who I am?
The second leader of the Wolfhead Mercenary Company, right?
Xiao nodded, his smile widening.
I know exactly who you are. That is why I came for you.
Ganmu's pupils shrank. He studied the smiling face above him, and his heart skipped a beat. This face matched a bounty poster he had seen months ago.
You are Xiao Yan? You were supposed to be dead in the magical beast mountain range. How are you still alive?
The crowd hissed at the name. Everyone knew the story. The Wolfhead Mercenary Company had sent their entire force to hunt a boy named Xiao Yan into the deepest parts of the mountains. No one expected him to walk out of that death trap.
Ka Gang gasped. He is the one who turned the whole mountain range upside down?
He couldn't believe they had been traveling with such a legendary figure.
Kill him!
Ganmu roared, his face twisting with rage. His men snapped out of their shock and drew their blades, lunging toward Xiao. Ganmu surged with pale green dochi, his fists turned a dark stony black. He let out a guttural growl and swung a heavy punch at Xiao leg.
Explosive step.
Xiao barked the command in his mind. Golden energy flared under his soul. He slammed his foot down onto Ganmu's chest, using the force of the blast to launch himself toward the incoming mercenaries. The explosion of the technique hit Ganmu like a hammer. He hacked up more blood as the air was punched out of his lungs. He scrambled to his feet, face pale and teeth bared. He pulled a heavy steel staff from his back and gave chase. Xiao moved like a shadow through the mercenaries. He reached back and grabbed the hilt of the heavy Xuan ruler. With a sharp tug, the black cloth fell away. He swung the massive black blade in a wide horizontal arc.
The weight of the weapon combined with his momentum sent several mercenaries flying, blood spraying from their mouths. In just a few breaths, Xiao had cleared the field of the 5-star Doge guards. He turned slowly to face Ganmu, who was covered in a green aura and charging with his steel staff raised high.
Xiao gripped the ruler with one hand and waited. He kicked off the ground with a boom. He closed the distance in an instant, swinging the heavy Xuan ruler down with bone-breaking force. The air screamed as the weapon cut through it. Ganmu's face went white. He held his staff up in a desperate block, pouring all his dou qi into the weapon. The sound of metal hitting metal rang out across the street. The force of the impact drove Ganmu's legs deep into the dirt.
Break!
Xiao cold-voiced the command. He flooded the ruler with his own dou qi. A sharp crack echoed through the air. A small fissure appeared in Ganmu's refined steel staff. A second later, the weapon snapped in two. Ganmu's eyes bulged with terror. He twisted his body in a frantic attempt to retreat. The heavy Xuan ruler slammed into the ground where he had been standing, carving a deep trench in the road. Xiao didn't give him a chance to breathe. He vanished and reappeared behind the retreating mercenary. With a cold laugh, he spun and drove a heavy kick into Ganmu's back. Ganmu took the full force of the blow. His face went from pale to ghostly white. He sprayed a mouthful of blood and tumbled across the dirt for 10 yards before coming to a messy stop. The onlookers gasped. If they thought the first strike was a fluke, they knew better now. This youth was clearly superior to a 9-star Doge.
To defeat a 9-star at that age?
Someone whispered.
His talent is terrifying. The wolf-head mercenaries picked the wrong enemy.
Ganmu struggled to crawl away. He looked at the mocking faces in the crowd, and his eyes turned a dark, hateful red. He glared at Xiao, his voice a raspy hiss.
Little bastard, if you ever fall into my hands, I will make you beg for death.
I don't think you will be leaving here alive.
Xiao replied. His eyes were cold. Killing a 9-star leader would be a massive blow to the wolf-head mercenaries. He had no intention of letting this man go.
Ganmu felt a chill of fear. His arrogance was gone. He looked around and saw Ling standing nearby. A cruel grin flickered on his face. He knew Xiao had been traveling with these people. He couldn't outrun Xiao, but he could take a hostage. Ganmu lunged toward Kagang's group. Kagang realized the danger immediately, but he wasn't fast enough.
Xiao?
As they tried to form a defense, Ganmu shifted his target toward the distracted Ling.
Ling, look out!
Kagang screamed. Ling turned her head, her eyes wide. She saw Ganmu's twisted face rushing at her. She froze in terror.
Little girl, come with me.
Ganmu snarled, reaching out with a predatory hand. Ling collapsed to the ground, her face white and her body shaking. She knew exactly what happened to girls who were taken by men like Ganmu. Just as his fingers were about to close around her, a shadow fell over them. A youth with a black ruler appeared like a ghost. Xiao shook his head.
The wolf-head mercenaries really are just trash.
He swung the heavy Xuan ruler. The black mass blurred through the air with a violent whistle. The ruler slammed into Ganmu's chest. The mercenary's eyes filled with pure terror as his ribs shattered. Blood and bits of organ sprayed from his mouth. He was sent flying backward, crashing through several trees before his body finally slumped to the ground, lifeless. The crowd felt a cold shiver run down their collective spines. Xiao gave the corpse a dismissive glance. He slung the heavy Xuan ruler back over his shoulder. He didn't offer a hand to the girl sobbing on the ground. He simply exchanged a few words with Ka Gang before turning to walk toward Green Mountain Town. Ling watched his retreating back. Her voice was barely a whisper, trembling with regret.
I am sorry.